Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Levine, intuitive and medium. All right guys, I decided to go ahead and pick this one this week. Before I get started on the subject, I just wanted to remind you guys to please subscribe and like below, and also comments are welcome and even answered by moi. So go ahead and leave some comments on this video, what you think, what your opinion is. Have you ever experienced anything that I'm talking about? And wanted to quick announcement that I'm doing a class that you guys voted on, really kind of obviously wanted this subject, because the vote towards this was high for the next class, which is how to open and heal your heart. So this class is going to be about how to heal and open your heart. And I talk about this a lot on this channel. If you want to open up your sight, you want to see the other realm, you want to experience it, then you have to feel. So I'm going to cover that. And my cat agrees. Cute cat. She was chilling, feeling good until I started this video. And she said, time to eat. All over the place. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. And once again, my code PEACE, P-E-A-C-E, which is 50% off of all my readings during this hard time, is still existing. Yes, and going on. All right, let's get to the subject at hand. The subject at hand is, what are energy vampires? Yes, I did get this idea from watching What We Do in the Shadows. Yes. Oh, hold on. I'm practicing being nausea. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, that show is awesome. It's funny. I love watching shows that you can laugh at yourself about, because if you can't have a sense of humor about yourself, no matter how serious you feel that the subject is, or what you do, like what I do, and you take it, it has a lot of humor. However, the part where they have an energy vampire in the show is a thing. Not a thing, obviously. There isn't someone living forever and, well, at least I know of, coexisting with other vampires. But the concept, are there people who act as energy vampires? Do they suck your energy? Yes, that is a thing. And it's a term that is used a lot in this realm, meaning in this world that you look into, psychics and paranormal and spirituality in general. You'll hear this term a lot. And it's not just a whimsical thing. What is it? And how do you recognize it is what I want to talk about today. So first of all, what is an energy vampire? One of my favorite parts about that show is showing how all the different ways he tends to take people's energy. It's through argument, it's through frustration, it's even through not really so much the joyous part, but it's always through like chaos and things like that. And one of the other ways that he tends to show this is not just through the chaos and the frustration, but boring people. Basically just pulling on people. And it's not really about boring, but it's the idea that he's going on and on about something and not regarding people's boundaries. So let's start there. Energy vampire is someone who tends to completely ignore your boundaries. So let's say you ask a question or you say hello to someone, and instead of them realizing, you know, there's boundaries between you and them that they shouldn't cross, they just cross them. So they don't pay attention to when you're like, let me give an example. Has this ever happened to you? You're on the phone and you're talking to someone, or even in person, or probably even through text sometimes, and you're like, I gotta go. This happens a lot on phones or in person. I have something I have to do. You know, my family needs me. I have a place to go, or I'm tired even. You can even say that. And the person just keeps on going. Has that happened to you? I'm sure it has. And when the person just keeps on going and they just don't pay attention, and yes, I'm not saying there aren't things to social cues, and some people aren't really good with social cues, or even people who have conditions where they don't notice social cues. That's not what we're talking about here. That is a given. We know that and we understand that. We're talking about people who do have the ability to have the awareness of social cues, but just don't care. And that's an energy vampire. They want to keep pulling on you as much as they can. Now, I have a little question for you. Here's one thing that I want you to test if this has ever happened to you. And feel free to comment and let me know. But have you ever happened to you where you talk to someone and they say, oh, I just can't wait to talk to you because when I talk to you, I just get a little dose of you. Has anybody said that to you? Or I just need to kind of, use your energy. I'm feeling down. Or I just want to make a connection. Can you hang out? Because I need a little bit of you. Like it's this concept of you and I'm kind of taking a piece of you. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. I know how I have. And I know in some ways it can sound like a compliment, but this is a way you can spot when somebody is acting like an energy vampire. When they're saying things like this, when they're saying, oh, I just need a little dose of you. I just need to come around and get you to charge me up. People will say it in different ways and it kind of sounds like a compliment. And it sounds like, oh, wow, they just love being around me and they feel better around me. But people like this, it's different than a friend saying, oh, I just need to see you. I just need to talk to you. You always make me feel better. Than when someone is literally saying, oh, I just need your energy and I just need it to fill me up. That is someone who sometimes doesn't see the boundaries. And you should know the difference because yes, there's a fine line between someone who just loves you and just wants to spend time with you and they miss you and someone who's literally not noticing what's happening to you. That's a different thing. So again, if you are giving very clear signals and saying, I'm tired, or I gotta run, or I have a lot on my plate, and they're just keep going and going and going, that's sucking your energy. Okay, so that's one way to notice it, and that is an example. Why do people do this? It is because they truly do feel like they're getting something from you and they truly don't care. They truly are thinking of themselves and how it's making them feel better and how it's making them feel, period. And that's the problem. That's not okay. That's not cool at all. All right, here's another example of an energy vampire. An energy vampire are people who do feed off of drama. Make that clear, because drama can also be one of those fine line things, believe it or not, where people kind of like it. It's entertaining. They want to hear about it. They want to talk about it. But people who just almost create it constantly and dragging you into it and wanting you to be a part of it. And if you are even trying to say, again, relax or have a break, and you're trying to convey that to someone, hey, listen, I know you have this you're going through, but I really need to kind of go attend to certain things, then they'll kind of pull you in by saying you just don't care. You don't care what's happening to me. Instead of recognizing maybe you've given them quite a bit of your energy and time and you just need to now go do something else. There's a difference between, again, you're in the middle, people have trauma in their life, traumatic things happen, people going through something and they need a friend, of course. But again, it's all about the boundaries, because what all of these have in common is not adhering, recognizing, even understanding, smelling, tasting what boundaries are. These are people who just bulldozes right through it. And in some ways, you may even feel like you're special, like they are coming to you. I mean, my cat just doing all of this noise during this video, is she an energy vampire? Anyway, but yes, this is kind of an important thing too. When someone is constantly pulling you in and going on about something that happened and they just don't even notice. So let's give an example. So let's say you go and pick up a friend because they locked their keys out of their car or something like this. And you know, that's a pretty innocent thing that happens, and you go ahead and you help them out, and you're going to take them, you know, to get what they need done. But if someone who is caring about you and caring about your energy and things like this, then they're going to be a little bit more like, oh, well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I know this is kind of a hassle, and I'll be really quick. They're going to acknowledge you and your time and your energy and what you're going through to go through this. And even if they can't help it, like I said, things happen, you know, they are still seeing you. And that is someone who's coming from a place of really just in need and doesn't mean to, you know, take your time and your energy, but something just happened. An energy vampire would look at this like, this happened to me, can you take me? And they would just not even get off the phone, stop texting, look up, even acknowledge what's going on with you or your time and your energy. They wouldn't even realize. You could even stop for gas. You could do all kinds of things, and they're not like, hey, do you need help? Or, you know, they're not seeing you. And then you go on and you continue and you take them to wherever they need to go and you help them. And they're like, oh, just one more thing. Do you mind if I just have this, you know, because of all this, I couldn't get food, and they keep adding. Now, again, this is fine lines. Yes, we can call this the idea of people taking advantage, but there's an energy vampire kind of pulls you into their trauma, not their trauma, well, maybe too, but their drama and the things that are going on in their life. And now they're kind of making you feel like you are a part of it because they're needing your energy to get through what they're going through. And that is the difference. It's someone who's just taking and sapping all of yours, not getting what you can give them, appreciating it and saying, listen, I just want you to be good and I appreciate everything you've done for me, but I'm just going to let, you know, you do what you need to do. And then it's your choice. If you say, oh, well, actually, I would love to get you something to eat, and the person acknowledges it, I really appreciate it, that's so kind of you. Either they turn it down, maybe they accept the offer, and you take them home and all is done. But someone who wants to pull you in is because they need your energy to ride their waves of life. And you need to look at that. Now, what you do about it, you're like, Adela, I have had these experiences. I know exactly what you're talking about. What do I do about it? Because you feel like your heart is compassionate and it's open and all of those things. And I understand, we're not saying, at least I'm not saying, you know, shut down your compassion or anything, but boundaries and learning boundaries is also something on you. Are you someone who is kind of enjoying these drama? Is it bringing something a little exciting to your life, you feel? Is it making you feel needed? You have to also look at yourself. You can't just point the finger and say just this person. Are you not stopping what's going on? Boundaries, letting the person in. Just like in the show, they have to ask permission to be let in. It's kind of the same when it comes to this sort of thing. You have to be the one to sometimes say no. You have to look at yourself. Is there something I'm feeling I'm getting from this that's making me feel special or making me feel wanted? And is this really being loved and wanted? So it kind of goes both ways. With that said, it is also very important to push and to stand firm on your boundaries and not allow yourself to cross them or feel guilty and give in. And that takes conscious effort and time and practice, meaning like you recognizing, oh my gosh, I'm getting sucked into this again and I didn't put the boundary up. So yes, this is a real thing. I want you to know how much. I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. I knew somebody who was very much into the kind of scene of dressing up vampirish and things like that, which is completely fine and nothing wrong. But when I said the term energy vampire, they literally said to me, is that a bad thing? Because that's what I do. When I described it the way I just described it, and I was like, now that I think about it, that is exactly what this person does. And it happened to me. And it was a very telling, it was kind of interesting that they did not recognize this about themselves, that they thought it was completely fine and a great way to go about life, just like really engaging people and pulling on their energy. And so I'm not saying that's the norm, because that's actually not the norm. Most people aren't really going to be aware this is what they're doing. For me, that was kind of awesome, because I got to get a confirmation of something I couldn't put a finger on. So I'm saying this to you because if you were to put it in a conscious form of someone doing this, this is exactly what they're doing. And having awareness is the first step. You need to see, are there people around you that you are letting in, that you're getting wrapped up in these type of areas with them? They are definitely people who will just keep pulling and pulling, and they don't know when to stop. And here's the last thing I'll leave with you. When you do put your boundaries up, when you do get firm, which I ended up doing, oftentimes the friendship or the relationship isn't going to be the same. People tend to not like it once you put them up, and that is also your tester, your little tester. If you start putting these strict boundaries up and people start getting upset with you and saying you've changed and something's wrong with you and you don't seem the same and why are you acting this way, and they almost get angry at you, or the opposite, maybe they just pull away, you never even hear from them again because you're not giving them their fix. So these are two ways to gauge, like, is this person been an energy vampire in my life? Because now all of a sudden when I've put these boundaries up, they're not, my phone isn't ringing, isn't texting, isn't anything. And all of a sudden I'm not quite on the radar for them as I used to be. That's another good tester. So it's either way. Person tends to get upset and angry, or they go this way. These are two ways to kind of find out for yourself. So I hope this helped, and I hope this gave you some guidance, and I hope this cleared up maybe a term that is used quite a bit, but wanted to give some validity to it, and I hope I did that. Thank you guys so much. Remember, follow yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice, and I'll see you guys soon.